Hey everyone, welcome to today's hangout. I'm so glad to be back. 2 days off, almost went into, I don't know what the heck it was, withdrawal, because I love being on these hangouts. And, you know, I had some personal stuff I had to look after for the last couple of days, but glad to be back. So today we're going to talk about how much is too much when it comes to advertising your business, okay? Now, a lot of you might think, oh, Carl's going to tell us we need like $300, $400, $500 a month to advertise. No, you don't. Okay. Here's the real cool thing: is that you know, I personally provide on my resources places where you can go and advertise. You know, one of the big places a lot of people are familiar with it is called Fiverr, Fiverr.com. Okay, Fiverr is a great place to get good traffic resources and pay. For $5 you can go out and get a ton of visitors to your site and opting into your form. Now, why am I sharing this with you? Okay, I was on a meeting with Janet Legere today, and you know, we were talking about resources. Now, Janet Legere, I'm going to tell you right now, she's probably one of the best contact list builders that I've ever come across, you know, and of course she's associated with a lot of other ones like Rob Gehring and Matthew Graves. These are top list builders that are out there, and they all work together. These are people you can get in one particular place, which is that, and you know, I'm not here to promote anybody's particular business, but you know what, we're all grown-ups here. You know, we all understand that we're trying to build a business here and that we want resources. You want to know where you can get resources from, okay? So, you know, it's not like I'm going out endorsing other people. I'm just telling you where you need to learn this stuff, okay? So, you know, Contact List Builder is Janet, and she teaches you how to go out and market your business, whatever that business is, and to the right people, to the targeted responsive lists that are out there. You know, hang on a second. Oh, something caught my throat. In this particular industry, it's really hard to find good responsive resources. Okay, I mean, there's tons and tons of sources and sites out there that you can look at. And you know what? I'm going to share my screen here because I need to show you this today, because a lot of people don't do this when they're looking for resources. This is what I do when I go and look for resources out there. Okay? So I'm just going to share this this one link here. Okay? This is just one resource that I found on the internet. Okay? And this is how you can find traffic. So let's say I want to go out and I want to look for web resources. So I'm going to type in targeted web traffic. I'm going to search for it, and it's going to give me different sites that have targeted web traffic on it. Okay, you can see here it comes up with a whole different amount of traffic sites. Now, here's what I do. I'm going to bring up one more site. I think everybody knows this site. Okay. Did I spell that right? Here, I'm just going to go over here and do it. Alexa.com. Okay. There's lots of sites out there that will go and boast that they can send tons of traffic to you and so forth. So here's what I do. Okay. This is just one little tad example. When you're going out and searching and trying to find good reputable sites, what I do is I go here and I go and I type it into Alexa, and I find out, because they talk about getting targeted traffic. Okay, now this site here, it's in the top 52,000 in the world, which means this thing gets amazing traffic to it. So when these guys are telling you that they're going to be able to provide you with traffic, okay, and here's the kind of traffic packages, okay, that are in here, okay? 2,500 visitors for $19.95, okay, which is going to get you, what does that say, 80 to 100 visitors a day, okay, for $19.95 a month. 5,000 visitors for $28.95 a month, okay? Or you can get 200 visitors for free, 20 to 25 visitors a day. Okay? You can test out the plans. But the point I'm trying to make is when companies are saying that they give that kind of traffic, you need to go and you need to check them out on Alexa to see if their site is actually getting it. You know, there was another site I brought up here, and I'm not going to do it on here because I don't want to embarrass these guys, but they're a site that came up and they said, oh, you know, we can get you 5,000 or 10,000 visitors to your website for a certain amount of money. So I went and I copied their link. I put it into Alexa. Okay, so we go back to Alexa, and I type in their site, and what does it come up with? Uh-oh, hang on a sec. What does it come up with? 2.5 million global ranking. That means that nobody's seeing their site. So they're talking about giving people this kind of traffic when they can't even get traffic to their own site. So this is what I mean when you've got to do due diligence and do your research before you start spending your money on sites, because you're going to spend money on a lot of sites out there that look good and they have real fancy websites and everything, and you go, oh, that's a great price for this, and you go in, you buy it, and you get nothing out of it. Well, that's why. Because companies that will be marketing that saying we can get you all this traffic, and if they're sitting at 2 million plus on there, that means their site's not even getting any traffic. So how can they get you traffic if they can't even get traffic to their own site? Okay, does this make sense, everybody? Panelists?
Yes, it does, Carl. Thank you.
Okay, so, you know, it kind of frustrates me when people are trying to find traffic that are out there and they can't seem to do it because they're going out and they're just picking anybody. They look at their site and goes, ooh, this looks really good. You know, it's only $4 for this. You have to, there's a lot of things you have to take into consideration, okay? I just showed you one. Find out that this company that is boasting that they can get you traffic, make sure that they're ranked really, really high, because that means that they're getting traffic to their own site, which means that, yes, they can drive traffic. Okay? That's one thing. Secondly, and I'm going to say this again, you've heard me say this a million times, you get what you pay for. Okay? If you want free traffic, you're going to get what you pay for. You can get all the free traffic in the world. Doesn't mean that they're going to be responsive and buy anything from you. Okay? So you need to go out and select resources that are proven. Okay? Now, let me go back to the screen. So I just shared this one with you. Okay? I use Herculist. Okay? Herculist, I have such great results from Herculist. Okay? So here's Herculist.com. Okay? Now I'm going to take their link. I'm going to put it into, into here. I'm going to search the site. Okay. Now, what does that tell you? Okay. That's gone up 7,845 positions in the last month. So their global ranking is climbing. They're 40,000 overall, 41,000 roughly, okay? Overall in the world. This is a site that will actually drive serious traffic to you. Okay? They have a low bounce rate. Okay? Now, a bounce rate means that if they go there, people don't actually land on the thing. Maybe an error comes up or they end up bouncing someplace else because it didn't load fast enough, whatever it is. Look at the page views. 6.1 page views per customer. Okay? Almost 5 minutes on the site per user that goes to that site. Why did I select Herculist? Well, I think this just tells you. Right? So, when you're getting involved in marketing online, you want to make sure that you also get involved in all the right resources that are going to help you build your business. Okay? That's why I think, you know, Total Takeover, for what it provides, you know, it doesn't necessarily fit the primary business model because it's more of a resource site than an actual business opportunity. Okay? It can be used as a main primary business because you're selling education, but it's one hell of an add-on to anybody who's marketing anything else. Okay? because most businesses do not have the resources in their back office like Total Takeover has in theirs. That's why when you log into the Total Takeover back office, what does it show you? It shows you a green button up in the left-hand corner and then a big one at the bottom. What does it say? Click here to view your referr's primary business. They actually encourage you to promote your primary business in here and use them as your marketing training resource. Now, they're putting all kinds of stuff in their back office, and they're adding more and more all the time. And then you have these hangouts where people like myself and Joan and Joanne and Janet and Rob and everybody else who comes on this panel provide you with additional resources. Now, let's all be grown-ups, okay? Let's all say, okay, we're here to learn on how to build our company. It's not about cross-recruiting or anything like that. It's not about sharing resources that you shouldn't be because I'm in somebody else's downline. Who cares what downline you're in? You join the business, you stay in the business wherever the heck you are. It's not about going from one person to another. It's about taking on the resources that they're offering to build your business. Now, we all got that straight here? Panelists, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Because, you know, when I share a resource on here, or Janet, or Joan, or anybody else on here shares a resource that's going to help you build your business, it's about building your business. You know, I don't want to hear from people that, oh, you know, you're just trying to get me to join your business. I could care less if you join my business, honestly. You know, anybody who has an attitude that says that to me, I don't even want you in my business, because that's not my intention. My intention is to come on here and help you build your business. If you take that the wrong way, well, I guess that's just too bad for you. Okay? I provide resources for free. I can easily charge for all the information I give. You know, my action plan site, I spent almost 200 hours building that thing. Okay? Any other marketer on the internet would be selling that for $19.95 a month or more. I don't charge anything. And you know what the funny part is? I can see how often people are using it, and the resources on there have made a lot of people in Total Takeover money and in other businesses that I'm in. And those that aren't using it, those are the ones complaining about they're not making any money. And I've given it to them on a silver platter. You know, we've had Janet and Rob come in here and talk about what they offer. Sorry, I get allergies. You know, they talk about, you know, the contact list builder. If you're not building a list, if you don't know how to build a list, learn to build a list. Okay? If it means you got to go in and get involved with a contact list builder and use their system to build your business, do it. Stop sitting there and complaining that you can't make any money because you can't build your list. We provide those resources. We may not have that in Total Takeover, okay? But we have a lot of other resources in there for you to learn by. And then you have other people who have resources. Now, you're a business person, okay? You have to think like a business person, like an entrepreneur, okay? Entrepreneurs don't allow anything like that to distract them from whatever they're doing. What we do is we go and we investigate, we learn, and then we implement. That's what we do, or apply, however you want to say it, okay? So I go in and I joined Contact List Builder, okay, with Janet, okay, and I go in there to find out how she is marketing, because let me tell you this, okay, I have some very, very big marketers in my downline, and Janet is one of them. Now, she was in production. When we first got out the gate, she was the #3 producer in my downline in Total Takeover. Now she's #1. Okay? Her team is exploding because of the way that they are able to attract people and convert them into Total Takeover. Okay? Now, if you're out there and you're not getting anywhere in Total Takeover, or even your other businesses, then maybe it's time you start listening to us if we're providing you resources. See, Most people look at this, well, I'm not going to join Contact List Builder because I got my plates too full. How full is your friggin' plate if you're not making any money? Okay? I hear that every day from people. Oh, my plate's too full. I'm in 5 different programs. Are you making any money? No, but I'm trying really hard. Well, maybe that's because you're not learning. Okay? Don't tell me your plate's too full when it comes to making money. Nobody's plate's too full. Okay? If you're in 4 or 5 different programs and you're making only a couple $100 a month, there's some serious issues there. Okay? In any business online today, you should be making anywhere between $3,000 and $5,000 a month in your first 60 days. There's absolutely no reason for you not to be making that kind of money in network marketing. If you're not, it's because you're not plugged into the right resources. You're not being mentored properly, whatever it may be. I talked to a gentleman yesterday who says he's been mentored now by this one guy who he thinks is the bomb for 3 months, and he hasn't made a dime. Well, I don't know there. That's the blind leading the blind. Somebody who doesn't know how to make money teaching other people not to make money. That's what that looks like to me. Okay? I'm not saying I know everything, but I'm smart enough to know that I need to plug into the right people who can get me where I need to be. I will join a program, I will join a mentorship, I will join all kinds of things to learn. Okay? I need to be on top. I need to be 1 step ahead of everybody in this industry at all times. And I preach that, and I preach that, and I preach that to you guys. I preach that all the time. So I know this is kind of turning into a training session, ladies, here, but I need to get this out, so just bear with me, okay? That, you know, I've been through a lot of stuff here in the last couple of days, evaluating a lot of things. You know, evaluating why I've had people quit my downline, okay? And it happens. So if people are quitting your downline and Total Takeover or any other thing, you know what? You don't sit there and pout about it and say, oh, this thing doesn't work. Because, first of all, Total Takeover is still in pre-launch. They haven't launched yet. Okay? Second of all, this company does have great resources in the back office. You're probably not using them. Okay? That's the first thing. Okay? You're not plugging into these Hangouts. And if you are, you're not implementing what we're sharing with you on here. You're not getting yourself connected. You know, I've been watching the Total Takeover Hangout replays, like the amount of people that are watching them. There's hundreds of people watching them. Hundreds. Okay? And I still see when I go into some of the Facebook groups and stuff like that, people, I'm going to use the word bitching and complaining, okay, about how bad their life is because they're not making any money. Well, I think I've had 3 phone calls. You know? And those 3 people have started to make money because I got them on the right track. You see, we ask everybody to phone into the show, although Andrew's not here yet. He should be back in a couple of days. But, you know, when we ask people to phone in here, nobody phones in. Nobody phones in and asks. So what are we to assume? I guess everybody knows everything, and that's why everything is so great. But yet, we see people quitting the program. For the life of me, I have no idea why people quit this program, because the pay plan is so frigging insane, it's unbelievable. I mean, we just did the first payout, and I mean, there was hundreds of people making thousands of dollars. Okay, in their first 30 days, and the company hasn't even launched yet. You know, this is what drives me nuts. Now, when we're talking about how much money does it take to advertise your business, it's not about that. It's about what is it that you're willing to do to make your business a success? You know, does it mean that maybe you got to spend $10 a month joining a mentoring program? Does it mean you've got to do a one-on-one with somebody that maybe costs you $100? Does it mean that you got to go to Fiverr and place 5 different things there for $5 a piece? Does it mean you've got to, whatever it is, you're going to go out and you got to run a solo ad that costs you $20? If you have the right resources, and you're given resources that are very responsive, then you're going to get conversion. Now let me go back to Janet again. The last couple of days, we have our own little Skype room that we're in, okay? And every day in her Skype room, I've seen 5 to 10 people that have a new test driver or a new life changer joining their business. Okay? I don't know how many else out there are doing that, but they're doing that. And you know why? It's because they have a system in place that's list building for them, that's sending out the solos and all that kind of stuff to the places that are starting to convert for them. Now, if you don't want to do that, that's totally up to you. But don't ever come back and bitch in any of the rooms or anything like that you can't make any money. Because that means you've refused to take any kind of help that's been given to you. Okay? So the only one to blame is the person in the mirror. And I hate to do this today. It's kind of a rant today. But, you know, what I've seen over the last couple of days, you need to learn from this. Okay? You need to stop trying to blame everybody else for your failure and start taking responsibility by just listening to some of the stuff we're sharing with you. You know, maybe it's Rob Gehring. Maybe your sponsor has something out there that's really, really working. Talk to them. Okay? Stop ignoring everybody. And so take some stand here, because quite frankly, all of us on the internet that are actually successful, that are making money in Total Takeover and other things, are fed up of listening to everybody bitch on the internet about how they can't make money. Start listening to some of the people that are showing you. I give you free stuff. I just did today. I just gave you free stuff of where you can go and find and start building your business. Now, whether you listen to me or not, I have no idea. It's totally up to you. And maybe you're going to think maybe I'm too aggressive, but sometimes I need to be, because I care about people making money, and I care more about people who are not making money. There's no need for it. I make money every single day on the internet. If it's not in Total Takeover, it's in all the other things that I do. But everything that I do to make money is all in my core. That's all about my primary, which is Total Takeover. I raise money in PayPal in different programs. Some of you might know about that. Whatever it is, I raise my capital, my advertising. In 12 days, I've raised $342 in PayPal money to run my advertising. I don't have to pay for it out of my pocket. Okay? I don't know about you guys, but you know, I like my money, and I like to use my personal money for my own personal things. I don't like sucking it all out of my wallet and throwing it on the internet. I can raise the money there. You can raise money on demand, like this. I can teach you how to do that in 10 minutes. Okay? Whether you take me up on it or not, I don't know. That's totally up to you. Okay? But I'll teach you how to raise my capital so you can promote your Total Takeover business or whatever else you're doing out there. So, how much is it too much when it comes to advertising? Well, I don't have a limit, because I go out and I raise my money. That's one thing that I do. I get smart. I think smart. I don't work hard. Okay? And too many people aren't thinking and working way too hard. I know people are saying, well, I'm spending 16 hours a day on here and I'm making $100 a month. Okay? Well, here's what I want you to do. Take that $16 a day, times it by 7, okay? 16 hours a day times 7, that's for 1 week, times 4, okay? And then I want you to divide it by the amount of, how do you do that? You times up your hours, okay? Divide it by, or times, okay, 16 hours times 7 days times 4, okay? And divide it by, let's just do it as an example, 8 hours a day, okay, for an example. And see how much money that comes to. That's how much you're making per hour in an 8-hour day. Or just take 7 days, okay, times, it takes 30 days. Divide it by 16. Take 30 days, divide by 16. It'll tell you how much per hour that you are making. If that's 16 hours a day, or 12 hours a day, or 9 hours a day, whatever it is. Take 30 days, divide it by that. That's how much an hour you are making. Oh, before you do that, get out the bucket, because you're probably going to puke. Okay? because that's going to be less than minimum wage. Okay, most people I know are making roughly between 15 and 90 cents an hour. That's what they're making. Okay, in the businesses that they're in. So in the last 30 days, if you haven't made any money whatsoever, think about what you're working for, how many hours you're putting in to make nothing. Okay? You have to have an ROI, or return on investment, in everything that you do online. But you've got to think smart about it. There are billions of dollars being spent every single day on the internet. Billions. Okay? Maybe trillions. And there are 350 million marketers on the internet, and out of that, maybe 2% are actually doing any kind of marketing that are out there. And on the internet, there's 2.21 billion people that are actually using the internet. Okay? So that's what your reach is. So don't tell me you can't find anybody. Don't tell me any of this stuff, because I will teach you in a half an hour how to find 100 people a day to connect with. I do it all the time. Okay? So, I think my rant is over for right now. Let's get some comments from you guys. Okay? Because this is like a really serious subject, because we have a lot of people that are constantly joining and quitting programs all the time on the internet. Why are they doing that? Why are they quitting? Okay? We can show you how to run 5 different programs simultaneously, working 2 hours a day. Okay? I know, I got 4 of them going. And I spend about 2 hours a day creating income in 4 different programs now. Okay? It's not because I'm really good at it or I have a huge list. It has nothing to do with that. It's just that I know how to automate things and get them in the proper order. And now that I'm going to really go and implement the contact list builder system that Janet has to market all of my businesses, I might even break that down to an hour and a half. I just, you know, it gets me when people say, oh, all you're trying to do is get us into another program. It has nothing to do with that. I could care less if you join anything I'm in. Okay? I'm not interested in working with anybody who goes, I just want you in my program, you know, or I'm just going to try that. I don't accept people like that work with me. Okay, I only work with serious people. I turn down hundreds of people a week from coming into my business, and some of you might be saying, why do you do that? Because they're not serious enough to work with me. I don't need a lot of people to make a lot of money. I need a lot of focus-driven people to make a lot of money. Or I need a few focus-driven people to make a lot of money. You know, in Total Takeover, I have 24 personal referrals, okay? Which has paid me almost $3,000 a month in residual income in my first pay period. And now I've got another pay period coming in on the 25th. You know, how many of you out there can say you got that kind of money coming in with only 25 people? Okay, you see my point? I don't need a lot of people to build a massive, explosive business. Okay, Joan, give me some feedback on what I shared.
Well, I can understand how people, when they come into network marketing, the change that we've had over the years. Take, for example, when we used to go to get our car repaired. We'd take it to a repair shop, mechanic would do all of the work, and then everything started to change because inside the engine of a car, things became computerized. So what happened? Every mechanic had to take training, had to go back to school, had to learn how to properly repair a car based on the computer programs that were in it. Okay, what if they said, I'm sorry, that's too, I can't learn that, it's too confusing, I just don't want to do it. Where are they today? Probably pushing a broom in a school doing cleaning somewhere. My point is, like Carl brought out, we have to have a forward-moving mind in a very competitive, changing world, and that's on the internet. What we're talking about today could be redundant 5 years from now. Are you going to stop then, or are you going to continue to absorb, to learn, to move forward with whatever is there? We realize that it's important to have a system in place, and this is what Carl has been talking about. If you're just running from program to program, jumping at whatever comes up, grabbing straws, you might say, and thinking that this is going to be my lucky one, forget it. This is not how network marketing works. And there are people out there who will say to you, you know what? Just get involved. It's free to start. You don't have to pay any money, and you're going to make zillions of money in this company. Buyer beware. That is not what network marketing is all about. Network marketing is about staying focused on what works. Do you know what works? If you don't, then maybe it's time, like I have done, to get a hold of a mentor and help them to get you through the maze. And believe me, it's not easy. I'm the first to say, hey, sometimes my brain feels like it's going to explode. Why? It's not because the mentor is not doing his job. It's because my mind has to make a changeover. I have to get away from what I was doing before, and I'm learning something new. When you go to college and you're learning new things every day, and then all of a sudden you're popped up with a test. Why do you have tests? Those tests are to find out where your level is of learning, what you have absorbed, what you have internalized, how you're going to use it further in what you're doing. That's why it's so important to have a mentor, to have somebody that really cares and wants to help you. And I've got a problem here. Just a second. I got to put in my, there we are. And if you take it seriously, and if you promise yourself, you know what, I'm going to stick it out, I'm going to learn this come what may, and I'm not going to jump to something else because I feel comfortable with what I'm doing, then you're going to get somewhere. And this is what you have to promise yourself. Are you really going to dig in your heels? Are you really going to learn it? And don't be embarrassed or ashamed to say, you know what? I need to have you help me with this once more. I need to go through the steps again because maybe it didn't compute the first time. That's understandable. It's new. It's different. But it's doable and you can do it. But you need to take the time to learn, as Carl said, one step at a time. When you have a new baby, do you throw that baby on the floor at 6 weeks and say, okay, get up and get your own milk, I'm done? No. That baby takes progressive steps to the point that he's able to do what is necessary at that particular time in his life. So when somebody new comes into network marketing and you throw everything at him, of course he's going to be overwhelmed. That's why Carl said, take one step at a time. And don't think that by being embarrassed or giving up and going to a new program is going to change the problem. It's not. The problem is still going to be there. Why? Because you're doing the same thing over and over again. You're not learning. You're skipping out. You're missing class. You're playing hooky. Don't do it. As hard as it may be, stick with it, learn it, and your mentor will be patient enough to help you do that. So what I'm trying to say is we're in a whole new era in network marketing. Online marketing has become the way to move a business forward. And if you're going to build a business and you're going to build it successfully, you have to build an online business. So just like the mechanic, you've got to take your crash courses, you've got to learn it, and then the onus is on you to reach out and to help others to learn it too. This is why it's so important to get a good, solid foundation, because you want to teach people the right way. How do you teach people the right way? By learning the right way from your mentor. So take my advice, get rid of your ego, put it on the back burner, roll up your sleeves, get busy, and just do it, because this is the only way you're going to be successful marketing online.
Great, thanks, Joan. And you know, you're absolutely right. They have to, you know, release the ego, and that's the hardest part, I think, for everybody. I know it was tough for me. You know, just thinking about everything that we've covered here so far. Okay, I know sometimes we got a little bit off topic here and talking about things, but you know, you have to be able to go through the steps. Okay. Try not to absorb everything all at once. That's what's going to put you in that awful place. That's where it's going to put you and get you frustrated when you're trying to do too many things at once. That's why, like with me, I have a step system. You know, do this, learn this, apply this, then do this, learn this, apply this, then do this, learn this, apply this. Okay? And unless you start to do these things consistently, and you have to take them. You could take one of my steps and just do that and make a ton of money with it. And it's not just my stuff. I mean, it's anybody who's got a action plan that's in place that actually will show you what you need to do. I don't know how many guys out there do that. I know I do that. I'm known for that. That's why a lot of people come to me, because of my step breakdown. But the point is that you need to find something that's going to teach you and help you stay focused and do things consecutively and consistently. Okay? That's the only way you make it. Do you think I've had nobody quit on me in Total Takeover? Of course. I've had lots of people quit. Why did they quit? Because they wanted the easy button, and there's no such thing as an easy button. Okay? The one thing I can tell you that's easy in this is that if you learn the steps, one step at a time, and you consistently do it, it gets easier and easier and easier. I can do steps 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in my action plan in about an hour, 15 minutes. All of them. Sometimes less. Sometimes up to 45 minutes I can do them. Okay? Because it doesn't take much time to do it. It looks complicated, but it's not. Okay? My instructions are very long, drawn out, because I do step-by-step breakdowns of what you need to do. That's why the instructions are like so long. But the actual steps doing them take about 2 minutes. You know, it's like Joan said. I mean, you know, you're going to go and you're going to take a course. You're going to learn the course, because the reason that we have stuff like this is to make sure, and tests in that is to make sure that you know what you're doing. Now, if you are one of those kind of people that just hates to be educated, I don't know how to help you online. I really don't. Because you can't go to Staples, buy the easy button, click it, and then everything's going to work. It just doesn't work that way. Okay? So we can make things very, very easy for you. We provide resources that can help you build your business and put it into place, because it's your business. It's not TTO. It's not your upline. It's not your downline. It's not your sideline. It's your business. At the end of the day, you're the only one that's going to make you money, not anybody else. You know, if you're waiting for that spillover, That's why people go broke, because they wait for spillover. I want to see what kind of spillover I get. Screw the spillover. Be the one who creates the spillover. Okay? This is why nobody makes money on the internet and everybody complains about it. Because they go, well, I joined this program and I didn't have anybody that fell below me. You're relying on other people to build your income. The moment you do that, you're in crisis. It's that simple. Okay? Be ready to call the local government agency and apply for bankruptcy or whatever it is, because that's the road you're taking if you rely on other people to build your business. Network marketing is about working with people to create an income together. It's not working with people, relying on them to create your income. That's the wrong concept. And there's too much deviance out there that actually promotes that, and I hate that. I can't stand companies or anything that do that. Okay? There's even in Total Takeover, I don't agree with the promotion of you don't have to sponsor anybody and make money in the Matrix. I hate that. But you know what? It's true. You can end up falling in there and get paid $1 per person on somebody who falls below you in the Matrix. And what does everybody do? Well, I'm just going to sit back and see if I make any money. First of all, let me explain how all this works, okay? I'm going to explain really quickly, and then I'm going to go over to you, Joanne. Okay, here's how it works in Total Takeover, okay? First of all, people have to pay $89.95 to get in. That's where you make a $45 commission, you know, or you make a $25 pass-up commission, and then you make $1 on the Matrix, okay? Everybody's focusing on this $1 on the Matrix, okay? I'm going to sit in there, and I'm going to wait for people to go in there. Well, you know what? People have to pay $89.95 in order to get the $1 in the Matrix. I don't know. I make $45 a sale and $25 pass-ups. Do you think I really care about the Matrix? That's pocket change. But everybody focuses there. You know why? Because it says, well, you don't have to do anything to make money in the Matrix. I don't get it. I just don't. You know, think about this, folks, okay? You go and you get a job, okay? You get a job with ABC Company. You go and you sit in your cubicle. ABC Company is going to pay you $23 an hour, whatever it is. And you sit in your cubicle and you don't do anything. You go, I'm going to wait for my coworkers to do all my work, and then I'm going to get my paycheck. What do you think is going to happen? You're going to get fired. You're going to get paid nothing. And that's the same thing here. You know, you come into my business, you pay $89.95, you sit in the Matrix and go, I'm just going to wait. Well, I'm going to fire you. That's what you want. I'm going to fire you. I'm going to tell you, get your money back and get the hell out. I don't want you in my business. I'm like an employer, okay? I'm referring people into my business. It's like I'm hiring you to come and work with me. But if you're not going to do the work, I don't want you around, okay? And that's how everybody feels on the internet. When you get involved with somebody on the internet and you go and you sign up underneath them, they're looking at you as saying, okay, here's someone who's going to help create me an income. And they obviously want to come out and create an income. But if you go and you sit there and do nothing in the downline, do you think that person who referred you is going to give you any time of day? They're not. Because that's what I do to my downline. If you want to come in here and wait for me to build your business, we're done, man. It's over. You're not getting any communication from me. I don't care what you do. Ask for your money back, leave. I don't care what you do. Okay? That's how I am. And that's how, but I only work with people in my business that actually want to go out and make some money. That's why I provide the resources. That's why I say, here's where you can go and get traffic and make sales. This is what I do. This is how I make my sales. But if you're going to sit back and not do anything, then you have to accept the fact that you're probably not going to make any money. And that is where, in my opinion, that's free. That's where free comes in, except I call them freeloaders. That's what I call them. Someone who comes in, sits on my coattail, and waits for me to make money for them. That to me is a freeloader. Okay? But those that make money in my downline, those are the ones that take on my resources I share with them, and they go out and they make money. I go, do this, do this, do this. And then tomorrow you do the same thing. And you go out and you make money every single day. And next thing you know, you're making $2,000, $3,000 a month. Now you're a hero to your family, to your friends and everything, and now you're starting to teach your downline doing the same thing. These are the people who succeed. And it's sad that the stats are about 1 to 2% of all network marketers online today. That's all that make money. Now you might think, oh, well, that's not that's probably about 2 or 3 million, maybe 4 or 5 million people actually make money on the internet. And then the rest don't. Because they either refuse to learn, refuse to do what they're told, and they want to freeload. Okay? Now, if I offended anybody on this call, I'm very sorry about that. But I'm very transparent and open about this. And I will let you know how I feel. That's how I feel about the people in my downline. If you want to come into my business and not do anything and just ride my coattails, I am going to call you a freeloader. Okay? Now, at one point in time we called people tire kickers. That's just a terminology that people use. But, freeloaders are a real thing. These are people that actually want to feed. They're like friggin', what do you call those things that stick to your skin and suck the blood out of you?
Bloodsuckers.
Bloodsuckers. They're like a bloodsucker. They're sucking all the juice out of you, right? They want you to do all the work, and they're just sitting there sucking all the money out of you, right? It's funny that and none of us like that. In real life, if you have a family member that comes to you and go, hey man, can I borrow $10? Can I borrow $20 from you? Don't worry, I'll get it back to you. Don't worry. And you know what? And you never see it again. How many of you out there have done that? I don't know how many thousands of dollars went out of my pocket. From my kids to siblings to friends, whatever. You do it, but you hate it. So I just don't do it anymore. When people come to me, if it's siblings or whatever, they come to me saying, hey, I need a few bucks. I go, you know what, go to this website right here. Go to this website right here and sign up right here, and then follow these instructions. Okay? Oh, what's this all about? You want to join your business? No, I want you to go and raise your own friggin' money. Okay? Stop coming to me for it. Go get your own money. Okay? This is business, folks. And you have to treat this like a business. This is not a hobby. This is not something where you go in and join join something and then wait for money to fall in your lap. Come on. You're bigger than that. Okay, Joanne, I haven't let you talk yet. Go ahead and have at her at this.
Oh, thanks for that, Carl and Joan. Okay. So I wrote some things down on a note in little notepad here as people were talking because I forgot that one time. But anyway, so Carl, totally agree with and Joan, like everything that we've been talking about. Yeah, this turned into a training session. And it is so important with business because you can flounder in the water, per se, if you're not tapped into the right resources. So, these Hangouts are a perfect example. And, the products that TDO has in the back office to get tapped into network with people, because there is so much stuff out on the internet, especially, and to be able to sift and sort through it can take you a while, but you know what, it's honestly easier just to start connecting with people, and ask them, hey, what do you use to grow your business? And they will tell you, and it'll probably cost money because you get what you pay for, but like Carl said, this is a business, and yes, we have low overhead. There's programs you can join for less than $100. We have pay for a cost of a computer, your internet, and electricity. And really is your basic business expenses, and it is a lot lower than opening up a brick and mortar, but that doesn't mean that it's any less valuable. So So there are a couple things. So first thing, when we were talking about success and the easy button, this quote, I can't remember who said it, but there's no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs. So there's no easy button. You know, you take the stairs. Sometimes, you know, you can take the stairs one little step at a time, or you can race up them, or, you know, go up to the stairs, rest for a little bit, go back up. But however you do it, you want to get to the top, you have to take the stairs. However quick or slow, or however you want to take that. So we're talking about this I guess analogy, I guess you call it, came into my head. We're thinking we're talking about, you know, being business and getting sales and leads and taking that very seriously. So instead of an internet business, so think about it like this, and apply this analogy to your internet business. So say you were given money, let's say $100,000. So you go out, you open up your brick and mortar store, Joanne's Widget or Carl's Widgets or whatever. So you have your brick and mortar, you've got your stock and your inventory, your shelves are all stocked, your store is open, it's really nice and clean, and you pull the neon, the switch, your neon, the open sign, and you just sit there and you're like, I'm just going to wait till somebody comes. Maybe I'll just give this a try. Would a person who spent $100,000 to open up a brick and mortar, you think that's what they're going to do? Or are they going to do everything within their power to get leads and to get people through the door and to put the word out? So take that analogy, apply it to your internet business. And if you don't know how to do that, well, again, networking, talk to somebody, talk to people. These Google Hangouts, perfect. Give tons of valuable information. So that's my first analogy. My second analogy that I've heard before, this kind of goes back to an entrepreneur will do whatever it takes, and they will do it until they succeed. So imagine this. You're in New York. I hand you a key and a note with an address on it, and a piece of paper, and on it says, there's $1 million cash. You can have it free and clear, sitting in a suitcase in Los Angeles. Here's the key to open up the suitcase. Here's the address where it's located. And take that piece of paper, make your way to Los Angeles. How many people would do it? Would you do whatever it would take to get there? You know, you had $1 million coming to you free and clear. Would you do it? That's another way to think about it. You do it, you know, you do it until you do it, whatever it takes. And you try something, say you put an ad out on a safe list, and you don't get any opt-ins, you don't get any sales. Well, guess what? You go back to the drawing board and you're like, was it my ad copy? Maybe I need to pay a little bit of money and do a solo ad. If it doesn't work, you don't get results. Okay, I know what doesn't work. Move on to something else. And you just keep doing. That's what marketing is. It's testing and trying and tweaking, and, you know, also to find your own voice, because like people are attracted to different people, and, you know, I could put something out and Carl can put a video out or post or whatever, and Joan can do the same thing, and we would all attract different people because we're all different. You know, we all have different personalities, different experiences, and we all would attract different kinds of people. And you know what? That's okay. There's billions of people on the internet. I'm sure we can all find, you know, have our following and just connecting with other people. And I don't know, that's business. If you want to join, if you want to come work with me, if you don't, you know, that's okay too. So that's about those. Yeah, those are my thoughts on that, Carl. And back to you.
Well, that's great. You know, that analogy you talked about going to Los Angeles for the $1 million, it almost sounded like you watched a rat race the other night about those guys that went through that thing to go and get $1 million in this little town. You know, I think about some other things. You know, I don't know if anybody has heard of AdSwap. Okay, you may have heard AdSwap, but AdSwap is a very, very powerful way to get your information out to a very responsive list. Now, I used to do ad swaps way back before internet ad swaps were around. When I had my sports card store, okay, I was so desperate to open up this store. I opened it up in an industrial area, okay? I found cheap industrial real estate that I could go in there and do it. I didn't go into in a residential area. No, I wasn't smart enough to do that. I went and opened it up in the industrial area just across the bridge from the residential. So I thought, I was close enough, I'll drive traffic. So I go and I open it up here, and sure enough, for 6 months, I think I had 4 customers. Okay? So I went into the red really, really badly. Then I got smart. I went to the local Subway shop and the Boston Pizza that was close by, and I made a deal with the owners there. I says, look, I would like to do an ad swap with you. I'd like to put some of my cards on your counter, and I will take some of your cards and put it on my sports card counter. So I will recommend that people go and get lunch with you. It's just down the road. That's where they are. And what happened? My clientele went from like 4 and 6 months to like 15, 16 a day. Okay? Because they knew where I was. Because there wasn't a sports card store for quite a while, quite a ways around. Like I think I was, within the next 5 or 10 miles, there was no other sports card store around. So when people found that out, they were driving traffic to me. And when my customers went in there, what did I do? I gave them their cards. And I even got those little, little punch cards. They have these little punch cards, you buy like 10 subs and you get a free one free or whatever. And, like coffee shops have that kind of stuff. So that's what I did, right? Now today, you can actually type in ad swaps on the internet. And again, I'm giving away the friggin' market here again today, okay? But man, if you can't find anywhere to find sales, here's what you do. You type in ad swaps and they're going to come up. There's going to be hundreds of them that are going to come up. What these are people who already have lists. Now, you can go to them and you can try and negotiate something. Like if you've got a list, you can negotiate, well, can you advertise my link to your list and I'll advertise your link to my list. Okay? Or you could say, you know what, you've got a list of 30, 40,000 people. Can I pay you, say, 15, 20 bucks for you to send my link out to promote to your database? I'll pay you 20 bucks to do that. Or 25, whatever. Give them a reasonable amount that's going to make it worth their while to promote your link to their database. And this is how affiliate marketers make tens of thousands of dollars per month. Okay? So this is another thing you need to think about. And I try to give as much of this information as I can to people. I know people are desperate to try and make some money out there, but I could give you all the information in the world. And if you don't take action on it, there's really nothing anybody can do, right? And this all goes back to how much is too much when it comes to advertising. How badly do you want to make sales in your business? How badly do you want to tell people of what you're doing? Now, I've shown you for free how to market social media in multiple different ways, okay, on how you can advertise for free and get people connecting with you. I have people adding me as a friend every single day on Facebook and LinkedIn and Google+. Every single day that's happening to me. And I'm promoting to them for free. It doesn't cost me anything, okay? Again, I show you that in my daily action plan, how to do that 3 to 4 times a day. Some of you that are connected with me, you see my advertisement going out there. Okay? I'm not scared to tell people I'm in business. That's why I have a Facebook page. I'm all about business. I don't need to spend time doing anything else. Oh, let me also tell you this, okay? There's people on, this is funny, okay? There's people on Facebook that say, oh, you know what? If you're going to ask me to join a game, you're going to be off my list. Guess what? I play Farmville too, okay? Yep, I do. And I've signed up 4 people into my business from Farmville too. 4 people, okay? I don't know, how many of you guys have played games online and signed up people? I'm also a gamer, okay? So I do other online things. I do World of Warcraft, okay? And guess what? I can private text message guys on there. I've had people from there join my business. Because guess what? Online gaming, such as like World of Warcraft, there's lots of others out there. There's like some of those military games and stuff like that are out there. They require a monthly fee to be involved with their business. right? And pretty much every gaming site accepts PayPal as a payment. So guess what I do? I tell them how they can raise PayPal money to pay for their monthly subscriptions so they can pay gaming all the time they want. Oh, and by the way, it can also get into a full-time income for you. So you know what? Now you don't even have to go to work. You can freaking play that game all day long. Okay? So you got to be creative. Always, always, always think creative. Always. One step ahead of everybody else. Now I've shared 2 major resources here with you today. Okay?
One
How
thing
long
that
this stuff is going to be free, I don't know, because I'm going to start charging for this stuff, I think.
I just want to I just want to butt in here for a minute, Carl.
Yep.
When I have my flower shop, for example, my expenses were between $10,000 to $20,000 a month. That's what my expenses were before I took any money home, because I had staff, I had rent, I bought perishables all the time. There were so many things that I had to pay out of pocket for. Carl told me that he spends about $300 a month on advertising. That is a drop in the bucket compared to what I've had to spend on expenses for running a business. So when people say to me, oh, I can't afford that, then I think to them and think, you know what? You just don't understand. How much money do you spend? I have a girlfriend that goes out for coffee 3 times to 4 times, even maybe more a day. And when she goes, she just doesn't buy a regular coffee. She's got to buy the expensive lattes or what have you. They run anywhere from $5 to $7.50 each. And then she wants something to go along with it, like a piece of cake or a muffin or something. She doesn't come away from there without dropping $10 every time she goes in. She does that 4 to 5 times a day. That's $40. 40 times 5, that's $200 a week just on coffee and sweets. And yet she says she can't afford to pay out anything to join a business or to advertise a business online. She doesn't have the money. Well, I know why she doesn't have the money. So where are people's priorities? Do you smoke? Are you a drinker? Do you go to expensive restaurants? Do you spend time in Tim Hortons or Starbucks on a regular basis? Come on. What you're saying is, I want the easy way of life. And I want all the amenities that go with it. And I am not going to move outside of my little box to make money online or to put money out to make money online. Those type of people I don't even want to talk to, like Carl said, because they're not focused on what's important in their life. They're just focused on having an easy life. So really, you really need to stop and think. When you say you don't have money to do something, ask yourself if maybe you let go of some of your things that are your enjoyments of life, you'd have the money to do what you want in your network marketing world.
Well, you know, that's one way of doing it. I mean, I don't tell anybody to get rid of their joyous things or you know, some of the things that they like to do. I instead say, look, you know what? I can show you how to raise that capital online. That's what I do. I never spend any money out of my own pocket on my advertising, ever. Okay? You know, it's I understand what you're saying, because I used to say the same thing, Joan, to people. You know, I mean, you know, if you're a smoker, whatever. I used to be a smoker. I don't smoke anymore. You know, drinkers, whatever. You know what? These are addiction things that you really can't tell people to get up because they need therapy for that. Okay, but I can be your therapist if you want to learn how to raise money online. You can sit on my couch anytime. Okay. I'll sit there and I'll be your therapist and show you how to raise money online to pay for your advertising and stuff like that. This lady who needs $200 a week to pay for a coffee, I can show her how she can start at the cost of one coffee to go and raise herself $200 a week. You know, it's that simple. I mean, if you want to know, you just got to tap into the right people who can bring you there. Okay? Again, you know, this is not a recruiting thing that I'm doing or anything like that. I'm just sharing resources with you. I can show you where you can hook in and raise money, because that's all I do. I raise money all day long to pay for my advertising. Like I told you, in 12 days I raised $321, I think it is, or something like that. I'd have to look. In 12 days. And that was the money that I used to pay for my solo ads I just did, for some of my other advertising traffic that I just did off Fiverr and stuff. Come on. If you want to learn and you want to be able to drive traffic and make money, use the resources that are around you. We have them here on the Hangouts. We have resources in the back office. Some of those interviews that are in there tell you a lot of great resources. Okay? If you're not listening to them, then you're not learning. And quite frankly, if you're not listening to them in the back office, I'm not sure why you're paying $89.95 a month. Okay? People pay $89.95 a month to be in Total Takeover, and yet a very, very small percentage actually go in and listen to the interviews, go in and actually take the trainings that are in there. So I question everybody, what the heck are you paying $89.95 for? You know? I utilize everything. I listen to an interview every single morning as I'm doing my marketing, as part of my daily action plan. And then I'll go in, I'll use some of their resources in there, like the Facebook training and stuff like that. Like I'll go in and review that, and then I'll go into Facebook and I'll go, okay, I can do that here. Boom, boom, boom. You see, I'm always educating, because why? You need to stay one step ahead of everyone. If you're not, then you're riding the caboose. And if you're riding the caboose, well, we all know what's back there. I don't want what's coming out the back end of that. I don't know if any of you do, but I sure don't. Okay? So stop riding the caboose and start being the engineer. Start being the one that's at the front. Okay? Because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to groom all of you into leaders into here. And, you know, if you don't follow instructions, we can't do what we're trying to do. That's why I do these Hangouts here. I don't have to do these. You know, I told the company I'll go and I'll do these Hangouts here. You know, I'm using the company thing here. I'm in a company Hangout account, and I'm running these to help you guys out there. I don't have to do this. I'm an affiliate. I don't get paid by the company to do this. I volunteered. I don't have to do this every day. Joanne doesn't have to be here. Joanne doesn't have. Nobody has to be here. You know. But we take the time out. I get a lot of people thanking us for giving what we're doing. And you know what? We appreciate that more than anything. Okay? It's always great to be appreciated. But if you're not getting results from what we're doing, then somehow, even us, whether you're in our downline or not, we're dropping the ball. And I'm not sure what we can do better. I think about that every day. You know, I can see I've got 16 viewers on this Hangout. 16. 1-6. Okay? Out of, I don't know, 5,000 plus members. Maybe a lot of people are working. I don't think so. I don't think all of them are working. This Hangout should have hundreds on here. Okay? I know that some days we get 40, 50 on here, and when we have the call in, we get another 40 or 50 coming in. Some people are working, but they like to hang out, right? But I do know we get a lot of views on these things afterwards, and you know what? We really appreciate that, because that drives up our volume for this. But I want to help a whole lot more than 16 people, 15 people. I want to help a lot more people make money, because it can be done. You know, I've already created personally, you know, a full-time income. Most people would love to be making what I'm making in Total Takeover right now. You could. That's the sad part. You could be making what I'm making. You just got to do what we're teaching you to do. You know, I don't sit around and I don't wait for anybody. I don't blame anybody for anything. If I don't make any money that day, the only person I blame is myself. because it's nobody else's fault but me. Everybody else wants to use somebody else as their scapegoat. You know, until they learn not to do that anymore, that's when they're going to start making money. But as they continue to want to use somebody else to blame for their failure, that's why they're never going to make any money. And that's why they'll go from this program to the next program to the next program to the next program. You're going to blame everybody you possibly can because you didn't make any money. Okay? I've never blamed anyone in my 35 years. I've never blamed a single soul for my failure. Never. And I never will. Okay? And I haven't always been successful, but I've been driven to succeed. So when someone tells me I need to do something, I do it. For many years, I didn't do that because I didn't want to take direction. I didn't want to, I thought I knew everything. And those were the years I barely made any money. I mean, I had some years where I was spending 10, 12 hours a day running Hangouts, running, or not Hangouts, but webinars and all kinds of stuff, bringing all kinds of people in there and maybe making $3,000 or $4,000 in that year. I don't know about you, but you could barely live on $3,000 a month these days, right? I know people making $8,000 a year. How they live, I have no friggin' clue. No clue whatsoever how these people live. The average rent, I don't know, I could be wrong, but you're looking at anywhere probably between $800 and $1,500 a month. At least up here in Canada, that's what it is, right? I don't know what it's like down in the States. The place I live in, $1,100 a month. You know? And then I got to have my food. And then I got to have everything else. My cost of living up here is $2,800 a month. That's just to cover my cost of living, all my bills and everything. Right? And that's if we're scrimping. So if I want to be anywhere, I got to be making between $3,000 and $5,000 a month. You know, in order for me to have a decent living life. If I really want to live the high life, I got to be between $5,000 and $10,000. You know, and trust me, $5,000 to $10,000 a month, I don't care where you are, you can live really nice on that. Okay? You don't need $1 million. Everybody thinks I got to make $1 million. If you've never made $1 million, you have no idea why you need it. To finish this off, I'm going to share a story with you guys. Okay? Growing up, my parents were millionaires. They were multimillionaires, actually. Okay? We lived in a regular house. We didn't live in any posh neighborhood or anything like that. But our house kind of stood out because we were the one that had the RV in the driveway and all the new stuff on the house and stuff. But we lived in a regular neighborhood, right? But we always painted our house every year or whatever and always had additional stuff going on. And, you know, I had an idea that my parents had a lot of money, but I didn't know the kind of money. You know, my dad was actually very wealthy. And then as I got into my late teens, just before I graduated back in the early 80s, my father made a couple of investments and he went broke in about 48 hours. He lost over $12 million in 48 hours. And you know, to keep the long story short, my father passed away here just a couple of years ago, and his income was $800 a month. So, I've seen both sides, okay? I've seen the wealthy side. I've seen the poor side, okay? But what I've also done in my life is I've learned to accept what I actually need. Okay? That's what I've learned to do. Anything over and above that is gravy. Here's the one thing that I focus on in my entire life is how I want to live my life is that I want to be able to go and do the things that I want to do, spend the money, whatever it is, if I want to go on a trip or buy a fancy toy or whatever it is, and never have to worry about replacing that money the next day. That's financial freedom. I don't know how much that is. Okay? I'm not a guy who needs to have friggin' his own personal plane or Lamborghinis or any of that kind of stuff. It'd be kind of cool, but I don't need them. You know, I live a fairly happy life, you know, making the kind of money that I do. And you know what? It's right around the 5-figure mark. If you've never made $10 or $15 or $20,000 a month, when you get there, you know what? That's not even $1 million a year. That's like $250,000 a year. That's a lot of money, and that makes your life way, way easier and a lot more fun. So you don't have to focus on the million. You can if you want. But here's the one thing I'm going to share with you. If you focus too big, and that's all you focus on, you're never going to get there. Okay? You got to focus on what's in the middle. You got to have your point A and your point B, and you never worry about point B. You worry about what's in between. Okay? Once you can learn to focus on that, learn to accept what's in there, and learn to keep yourself focused. I don't care how many businesses you have. You could have as many businesses that you want to run on the internet, but you better have a hub that's going to allow them all to work together and make you money. If you're in 5 businesses, you've got nothing in place, no strategic plan in place, that's why you're not making any money. Okay? We're going to talk a lot more about these things on these Hangouts. So I'm hoping that, that what we shared today, I know I talked for most of this Hangout here, but I'm hoping that what we shared today from all of us has sunk in, okay? Because really, you know, I believe Total Takeover is an absolute must as an info hub, at least, for any business out there. I don't expect you to replace your primary business, because you might have a great primary business that's out there. But what you might not have is the resources that you need to run that business. Because again, if you've been in any business on the internet for longer than 3 or 4 months and you're not making a full-time income, there's something really, really wrong about that. You're not getting the right guidance. You're not getting the right mentoring. Okay? So we need to change that. Okay? Tap into whatever resource you can that's out there. Whether it's me or Janet or Rob or any of the other big leaders that are out there in this company. Okay? That can help you get down that road. Do it. You don't have to be in my downline to tap into my knowledge. I don't care. I'm here to help people in this company. I don't care what downline you're in. Whatever you do, don't leave that downline to go to somebody else. That's the worst thing you can do. Okay? So let's get that straight too. Because you're locked in a very prominent position in this company at this point. To leave it to go to someplace else, you lose that prominence. Okay? So let's call this to a close, because I'm kind of running out of wind, and we've gone kind of way. Sorry, ladies, I kind of took over the call today. But just get back to the person who invited you here, and if you're a leader listening in, I think you get it. Okay? Get back to your people and start getting them focused on making some money and not being scrambled. Okay? Nothing worse than scrambled eggs, man. Okay? So eat it sunny side up. That said, have a great afternoon, everybody, and I will be back here tomorrow. So we'll see you then. Thanks, ladies. Have a great day.